Good Thursday afternoon, everybody. This is Dodgers Territory. We are psyched that you are here. That is Clint Pasillas. I am Alanna Rizzo. We are your hosts of DT. Thanks so much for being here. Like, subscribe, do all of the things. And don't forget, you, my friends out there, can support the show in style. Dodgers Territory shop is open. It is going on right now. You can certainly click the store button on YouTube, support the show, go to DodgersTerritoryShop.com, all of the things. I tell you what, we got a massive series coming up. Kyle Glaser is going to join us in a bit. He covers the San Diego Padres. He is also a co-host of Friar's Territory. So we're going to get both perspectives of what is a massive series coming up. Clint, before we do that, I want your take. Let's get to the big ticket.
Let's do it.
How do the Dodgers get swept by the Angels?
Listen, when things are good, things are good. When things are bad, things are really, really bad. And the Dodgers are playing pretty bad baseball right now, whether it's not scoring enough runs or not holding leads. But, yeah, Dodgers swept by the Angels. It's a season sweep by the Angels. So that is a problem in and of itself. You don't want to lose baseball games to the lowly Anaheim Angels. But the worst part is they are now in second place in the National League West. For the first time this late in the season since 2021, we have this from our friend Bill Plunkett. Yeah, first time since 2021 when, of course, the San Francisco Giants won.
By one game now, right?
Yeah.
Didn't they win it by one game? It was 117 to 116, so calm down. Here's the thing, though, that's interesting is the Padres have not won the division since 2006. And I wholeheartedly believe the Dodgers will win the division. But I have to say, the next 6 games against them over the course of the next 10 days could very well determine the division.
It will. It 100% will right here. But, yeah, how do you feel about this team getting swept by the Angels? What's your pulse?
I think it's ridiculous. You look at the amount of talent on both of the teams. And I understand the Angels are a major league team, yada, 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 but they don't have the star power or the firepower that the Los Angeles Dodgers do by and large, up and down the roster, up and down the lineup. It is, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it is what Ken Rosenthal was saying on Fair Territory today, where there's a lack of urgency. I don't know if it's just play the long game because the season is so dang long, 162 games, you can't run the table at 162-0. This is a Dodgers team, though, this year, Clint, that I feel we haven't had that type of momentum and storyline like, let's say right now, for recency bias, the Milwaukee Brewers. The Milwaukee Brewers have rattled off 12 straight wins. For whatever reason, they are doing probably more with their 26 to 40-man roster in terms of the proper utilization of guys than any team in the big leagues. This is a mid-market team, a small market team, right, that shouldn't be winning in the ways that they are. And Ken Rosenthal was talking about the fact today that they're kind of an embarrassment. They're embarrassing the rest of the league, right?
Yeah.
Because they're doing it by moving a guy first to second, moving a guy first to third, playing small ball, using the entire field, not relying on the home run. And the Dodgers haven't gone on any sort of like massive run. It hasn't been terrible one way, hasn't been amazing the other way. You know what I mean? So whether it's lack of urgency, as Ken thinks, I don't know, but it's not like Dave Roberts always used to say that, you know, the calendar is in our favor or the calendar is against us or whatever it is. As we sit here on August 14th, I'm starting to think that the calendar is not in our favor because these next 6 games against the Padres are going to be massive. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then we keep relying on and hoping for the health factor, right? Well, one guy gets healthy, another guy, the one freaking reliever that you get at the deadline is on the shelf. So Brock Stewart's on the IL. That was supposed to be a helpful piece in the bullpen. And if you're going head-to-head with the San Diego Padres, and we're going to talk to Kyle Glaser about that momentarily, if you're going head-to-head with the Padres, their bullpen is ridiculous. You want to bring up those numbers in the National League? This is National League ranks only, but look at the bullpen ERA. And this was maybe not the numbers itself, but the fact that they were first in the NL was even before they added Mason Miller.
Yeah.
So the record is very similar, obviously, because the Dodgers and Padres are now neck and neck for first place in the division. Batting average very similar. Dodgers can slug. I mean, look at the home runs compared to what the Padres are doing. The ERA pretty similar. Dodgers north of 4, Padres right at 4, basically. It's the bullpen that's going to be a huge difference. And honestly, Clint, that's what wins championships, right? It's pitching and defense, but it's shortening up the game. And the Padres bullpen has really shortened up the game.
Yeah, right now the Dodgers' issue is not scoring runs so much. They're getting hits, they're drawing walks, they're finding a way to put enough on the board with that starting rotation. But the biggest problem has been that bullpen. And you said heading into that trade deadline, this is a team that needs at least 2 bullpen arms, needs to add an outfielder where they got 1 bullpen arm. And like you said, he's already on the injured list. But if you look at the numbers here, also from our friend Bill Plunkett, last 9 games, 18 runs, 16 earned allowed by the Dodger bullpen for 4.5 ERA. But the last 5 losses for the Dodgers have been because of that bullpen. They haven't had a save since Ben Kasparias on August 3rd. We got more here from Tim Cates, who covers the team over there on AM 570. Big names missing, of course. No Tanner Scotts, no Michael Kopech, Kirby Yates, and you had to kind of rely on big stuff from Edgardo Henriquez, a dude who, for the greater part, has been banished by this team this year because of whatever he did. He kicked something, during spring training and broke a toe, a bone in his foot, or whatever it is. But the bullpen is bad, and there's some help on the way, but then we get back into that thing. Oh, okay, well, let's just hold out hope that Kirby Yates comes back. But also, Kirby Yates has kind of been, on the struggle bus for a greater part of the year.
Kirby Yates and Tanner Scott have not produced to the effectiveness level and given the production that we had hoped when they remember. And I bring this back, and I'll continue to bring it back. When you and I were at Camelback Ranch, I talked to both of those guys, and we looked around the locker room there, the clubhouse at Camelback, and I was like, man, we have 10 closers. Now we don't have a closer. So you can't put Alex Vesia in those types of situations. He's not a closer. Edgardo Henriquez, what? I mean, now it's like, this is the thing. This is the thing. But this is a situation. It was almost exactly 6 weeks. Almost exactly 6 weeks where the Dodgers lost a 9-game lead in the division. And give credit to San Diego, but I still believe wholeheartedly the Dodgers win this division. But I tell you what, if Milwaukee keeps playing the way that they're playing, and perhaps they've peaked too early, I don't know. There's something to be said about that too. But if they keep playing the way that they're playing and the Dodgers bats go cold, because that can happen, right? Like it goes in ebbs and flows. And if the Dodgers bats go cold at the wrong time and Milwaukee doesn't rely on the home run or whatever, or you're playing San Diego, because the Dodgers have a better offense than San Diego does, by and large. But if you look at the pitching staff, particularly the bullpen, obviously, San Diego has the upper hand. So if the Dodgers bats, which are better, and they hit more home runs, if they go cold in the postseason and San Diego is hot or is the same, that's problematic.
It's very problematic, and the sad thing is there's not a whole lot of help on the way, realistically, for the Dodgers, because you have these dudes, your Scott, your Yateses that, again, they have struggled this year. Brusdar Graterol now most likely not coming back this season, according to Dave yesterday. Small chance was the quote. They're going to need to be creative, really, really creative. Roki Sasaki goes on rehab tonight. If he's somebody who could plug into the starting rotation for a little bit, Emmett Sheehan needs to move to the bullpen. There's one arm there. Bobby Miller's honestly been kind of tearing it up at AAA since moving to the bullpen.
That ain't it. And by the way, Roki Sasaki, we were like, well, does he get a spot start here and there, 3 or 4 innings, which is basically like an opener plus some length. And both Jill Painter Lopez and Fabian Ardaya said that, yes, when asked the question, would you go to the bullpen? He said, yes, that's the team answer. But the body language was like, no, I'm a starter. So I don't know. There's a lot of question marks right now. I don't know.
Listen, the Dodgers, the players, Dave, everybody is saying the right things. They're maintaining the faith. Big series coming up. But it's time for players. It's time for people to step up. One guy that has been stepping up is Mookie Betts. Finally finding something. We need to talk about that, and we are going to do that right now in our DraftKings Player Spotlight. This is DraftKings Player Spotlight today. We got to shine a spotlight on Marcus Lynn Betts. MLB 50 is back, and Riz, I don't know if you've noticed, he's hitting really, really good.
Welcome back.
8-game hitting streak. 8-game hit streak. 5 of those multi-hit games, batting over 500 with over 400, batting at 400 with
Right.
a 990 OPS. It's really good to see Mookie back and thriving, and the number he said he quit on the numbers. He's going to focus
Mhm.
on helping this team win each day, and it has worked well. It also helped that he got
Yeah.
himself a little pep talk from Mrs. Mookie there,
Yeah,
Brianna.
I love it. I love it. Brianna said this. She said, just stop looking to other people for answers. Look within. You'll figure something out. Stop talking to JD and Rob Van Scoyoc looking for answers. JD is, I'm assuming, JD Martinez, and
Mhm.
Rob Van Scoyoc looking for answers, not necessarily in a negative way, but really look within to find answers from myself. Yeah, Brianna, let's go.
Let
Let's
him know.
go.
You know,
That's right.
when
Sometimes you got
when
to listen to the wife.
when Mookie is right, we know things are just a lot better for this baseball club. But now it's time for him to be a leader. It's time for him to step up, and for other dudes in that locker room to follow suit. I mean, if I'm somebody who's having some issues on the field or whatever, I'm going to look to somebody who's an MVP, 3-time World Series champion.
Well,
I'm going to be like,
maybe you should be looking to Mrs. FRG, because he's been looking to all of those people, right? He's been looking to all of the hitting gurus. He's been looking to all of these people that are supposed to, tweak and change and do this and all the things. He's like, you know what? Like, she's like, quiet the noise. Quiet the noise. The only person you need to listen to is me, your wife. That's what she's saying.
well,
She's like,
technically, she told him,
keep it
believe
in
in
the bubble.
yourself.
Yeah,
Believe in
yeah.
yourself,
But I mean,
mofo.
he had to listen to his wife to believe in
Yeah.
himself. But the point is, he looks good.
He's
It's
got that
good to have him
focus.
back.
He has that
You will need
focus
it.
again. There's
You
something,
need it.
and hopefully the rest of the team follows suit. But we do thank DraftKings for presenting this segment of Dodgers Territory. Why don't you tell the fine people more
I
about Pick Six?
I love it. Pick Six from DraftKings is the most fun way to play fantasy sports. Download the DraftKings Pick Six app now and use code FOUL. That's code FOUL for new customers to get a special sign up offer. Better payouts, bigger wins only with Pick Six from DraftKings.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. One per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 bonus picks that expire in 14 days. 8/24/25 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Hey, Alanna, look who's here. It's our buddy,
Hey.
Kyle Glaser. We should not like him right now because the Padres are in first place, and Dodgers
his
fans
fault.
are salty about it. But Kyle, how you
Yeah,
doing, man? What's going on?
Doing all right. Glad to be back on with you guys.
Yeah, the Riz, take it away here.
Yeah, Kyle, good to be with you. Thank you as always. This is a team, Kyle Glaser, that had a number one bullpen in baseball, certainly in the National League, but now it's even better. Mason Miller, and it's not just in the ninth inning, Kyle. He can come in the seventh and throw 103 right down your throat. I mean, is this right now? Take the Friars Territory cap off if you can. Is this the team to beat right now?
It's one of the teams to beat. Realistically, we know the National League is absolutely loaded. The Brewers right now have the best record in baseball. The Phillies are a team I feel like a lot of people aren't talking about. There's a lot more focus on the Mets and the fact they're losing ground in the NL East race without looking at the fact the Phillies actually have the second best record in the National League behind only the Brewers. Look, the Padres are playing great baseball right now. They're 14-3 in their last 17, and they certainly beefed up at the trade deadline to fix all their holes. And look, the Dodgers are obviously skidding right now, but I think it'd be foolish to count them out. Oh, by the way, the Cubs have an offense that can bang with anyone. So I think when you're talking about the Padres, the Dodgers, really either of these two teams, both of them are firmly in the mix. I wouldn't call either of them the favorite right now. I think you kind of have to tip your cap a little bit to the Phillies and the Brewers, but they're going to be right there.
Over the last 6 weeks, Padres have been good. The Dodgers have been bad. What changed for San Diego?
What changes the offense? The Padres always had a great pitching staff throughout the entire year. Even when they were struggling, they were top 5, top 10 in the majors in pretty much every category. They've been a great defensive team all year, and they've run the bases really well. So those things were true even when they were struggling. What has changed is they beefed up the holes in their lineup. The Padres had a 584 OPS from their numbers 7, 8, and 9 hitters through the trade deadline. That was the worst in baseball, worse than the Rockies, worse than the Pirates, worse than the White Sox, worse than all the bottom feeders. It was really, really, really bad to the point they were giving away 6 to 9 outs a game. what they do at the trade deadline, there's a lot of focus on the Mason Miller deal, but the more impactful deal was the deal with the Orioles to bring them Ramon Laureano and Ryan O'Hearn. They also got Freddie Fermin from the Royals. They replaced a third of their lineup, and now they're number 7, 8, 9 hitters from being the worst in baseball since the trade deadline. They're second in the majors with an 880 OPS. Now you have the bottom of the lineup hitting. Some of the guys at the top of the lineup that were slumping have started to find their groove a little bit. Fernando Tatis Jr., Jackson Merrill. This was the one thing that was missing. It's not like the Padres were struggling in every facet. They were struggling in one facet, the lineup. And now that they fixed that, we're seeing the team really play as complete of baseball as we've seen them play all year.
Kyle, before the Dodgers series coming up now, and before the Dodgers played the Angels, the Red Sox played the Padres. And Xander Bogaerts, obviously former Red Sox, got a couple of knocks against his former club. In fact, it was the first time he had gotten a hit against the Red Sox. Did the Red Sox wake up Xander Bogaerts, or did the Dodgers wake up Xander Bogaerts?
Really, Xander Bogaerts woke up during that Dodgers series in LA. So since mid-June, Xander Bogaerts has been hitting well over 330 with an OPS over 900 after literally being one of the 10 worst hitters in baseball for the first 2.5 months of the season. He had a bottom 10 OPS among all qualified hitters up through June 17th. Since then, he's been one of the best hitters in baseball. So this is something the Padres were hoping they would see happen, and really give Xander Bogaerts credit. Earlier in the year, he was out on his front foot on everything. There was no balance in his swing. His bat speed was looking terrible. The Padres were looking like they might be the new owners of the worst contract in baseball. And to Xander Bogaerts' credit, he's done a much better job staying balanced in his swing, driving through the baseball. The bat speed is ticking up, and the results are following. So we'll see if he can keep it up the rest of the year. But Xander Bogaerts, it really was that series in LA back in June that really was the moment he started to turn the corner.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. Obviously, you cover more than just the Padres. You are the host of Friar Territory. Guys, check that out if you want your Friars takes. But you watch the Dodgers. You cover the Dodgers. What are you seeing on the Dodgers side of things? Alanna and I were talking before. Ken Rosenthal said today kind of a lack of urgency from the team, at least perceptively. But I'm curious what you're seeing from this Dodgers team.
Look, obviously we know this bullpen has been terrible recently. They've blown games in the 8th inning or later, 3 of their last 4 losses. And they only acquired Brock Stewart at the deadline. They were counting on all their guys on the IL to come back in August and be the impact players. Michael Kopech, Kirby Yates, Tanner Scott. But in the interim, until those guys have gotten back, the bullpen just hasn't been good enough. I actually want to focus, though, on the offense. I think a lot of people have missed the Dodgers have been a bottom 10 offense in baseball since the morning of July 4th. I mean, they're 22nd, 25th, 23rd in all the different categories, average, runs, on OPS. It's just been really, really concerning. And to your point about, lack of urgency, what I have noticed this year, having covered, hundreds and hundreds of Dodgers games for more than a decade now, this year's team is just not as sharp, and we see that really in the defensive efficiency. The Dodgers were either first or second in defensive efficiency every year since 2019. This year, they're 18th. They're allowing a lot more balls in play to turn into hits. They're not converting outs. There's no question. This has definitely been a Dodgers team that has not been as sharp as its predecessors.
Why do you think that is?
So some of it obviously is they've had a lot of guys playing out of position, and that's obviously not helped the defense. We're also seeing guys who really shouldn't be in the majors playing, starting for them. I covered a game a few weeks ago where Esteury Ruiz was starting in left field. That should not be the starting left fielder for a World Series contender ever. So again, a lot of it's injury based, but there's no question. I just covering this team, yes, they've always been super talented, but you're right. There was always a sharpness. They always played clean baseball, and for the most part, a focus and an intensity and an urgency. And there's no question, watching this team from the press box, being in the clubhouse, it's certainly not to the same level as it has been in years past, whether that's World Series hangover, whether it's a function of injuries. Everyone's going to say the source is something different, but there's no question that it is the case.
It's funny you mentioned people, some players playing out of position, and fans still, they don't look at the numbers when it comes to Mookie Betts playing shortstop, but you could argue he is out of position. What is your kind of take now watching 4+ months of Mookie Betts playing shortstop? Obviously, the offense feels like it was something different, but I'm very interested in your thoughts on Mookie, and is he playing out of position there as a shortstop?
He's gotten a lot better. He's not the problem here. He's really, really put in the work to get better as a shortstop, and that's a credit to him. It's more, when we saw, seeing Andy Pajas in center field, again, he can do it. It's not his best position. Esteury Ruiz, again, playing left field really shouldn't be happening. We're seeing Justin Dean. I think too, Tommy Edman before he got hurt, can he play third? Sure. Do you really want him there? You probably want him more in second at second base or center field. Just the arm strength has always been a shortcoming there. So again, we'll see if when everyone gets back healthy and they are at full go, maybe it cleans up a little bit. But there have certainly been too many games this year that I've covered, was the A's series, the Brewers series, where they just were not sharp defensively, and it came back to hurt them directly. Missing cutoff men, errors of just that are product of a lack of focus, just things you don't normally see from the Dodgers. We've seen a lot more this year.
Kyle, 6 games in the next 10 days between these rivals. If whoever wins the next 6, do they win the division?
Probably, just because if one team goes 6-0 over the other, the Padres in that case would have a 7-game lead and have the head-to-head tiebreaker. Whereas if the Dodgers were to win all 6, then yeah, they're up, potentially 5 games on the Padres with the head-to-head tiebreaker. I do think that whoever comes out on top, if these two teams split over these next 6 games, obviously nothing will be determined. But if one of these teams goes 6-0, yeah, I think at that point you have to say there is now a clear-cut favorite in the National League West. And I think realistically, what transpires this weekend and next weekend, again, anything is possible. There's still going to be a full month of baseball left after the last time these two teams meet, and we all know how crazy and wild this game can be. But there's no question that if someone is able to win 5 of these 6 or all 6, they will be firmly in the driver's seat and have a very, very decided advantage moving into the final month of the season.
Another thing we'll be watching is this going to be a continuation of fight night between these two ball clubs? They have not faced off since Dave Roberts and Mike Schilt were yelling at each other on the field at Dodger Stadium. Kyle, are you expecting fireworks over there at Dodger Stadium this weekend?
Look, these two teams have cleared the benches 3 times in the last 5 seasons, and that doesn't count last year's, postseason where things are being thrown on the field and the Padres are huddling up.
That doesn't even count Zach Greinke and Carlos Quinton or whoever the hell it was.
That's going way back, but yes, I think realistically,
I'm old, Kyle. I'm old.
Yeah, no, hey, it's all good. I remember that series too. But no, realistically, over the last 5 seasons, again, no other rivalry in baseball, no other matchup in baseball has had the benches clear 3 times in 5 seasons. So, look, there's always a lot of motion when these teams play. There's a lot of intensity. We've seen so many great, epic, close games. I would expect nothing less, especially now that first place in the division is on the line.
Yeah, it's the Dodgers fans really need they need a couple wins in this series. It is tough. Dodgers fans aren't used to being in second place in the National League West, so
let me ask you this. Let me get away from Dodgers Padres just for a hot second. I realize that this is Dodgers territory, guys, but how much do you think it would benefit any of the teams? So for example, the Milwaukee Brewers rolling off 12 straight, right? How much do you think it would benefit a team like the Brewers, who are not used to winning the division and have had to go to the postseason via the wild card route more recently than not? Do you think they win the division, obviously, and how much does that impact them in terms of whoever they face, whether it is the Dodgers or the Padres or Cubs or whatever?
Yeah, we've seen the wild card round. A lot of teams have certainly, gotten the bye and then come out cold. But look, the Dodgers had it last year, went on to win the World Series. We saw the Astros do it in 2022. So it's not impossible. But I do think for a team like the Brewers, who, again, has a chance to win home field advantage in the National League, this will be a little bit of new territory for them. They haven't had a situation where they've won a division and had to sit out a wild card round, especially when you're playing so hot quality of baseball right now. I do think there is something to be said for the ability to continue your momentum and keep rolling and staying in your rhythm. I do think it would be an advantage for a team like the Brewers to not have to go sit for 5 or 6 days. But you never know. At the end of the day, I do think talent wins out more often than not. So we'll see what happens.
We need Dodgers to find that talent again, as I was saying, because I'm really trying to just will this into the ethos. Dodgers, please win a couple of games against the Padres. Screw those douchebags in San Diego. There's no need for all that.
Wow, not you, Kyle. Not you.
No, he's good. He does it all. Kyle,
Clint is an angry little man. He's an angry little man. He's not used to second place.
I see the chat. People are mad, and they deserve to be mad right now. They have every right to be mad. How's the $400 million Dodgers end up in second place? But Kyle, we appreciate you joining us, the insight, all that kind of stuff, guys. Make sure you give him a follow on Friar Territory. does a great job talking Padres a couple times a week. And you have Mike Cameron's on there, Heath Bell. Who else joins you on Friar Territory?
We got all sorts of rotating hosts. Jack Harris, the LA Times, will be joining me tomorrow. And,
Nice.
You can obviously, podcast and read me at MLB.com covering everything. So got a lot of good stuff. And, this is going to be fun down the stretch. The NL West, also the AL West. I mean, this is the best time of the season. We're at the, final quarter pole. It's going to be wild. It's going to be fun and definitely follow along.
41 games remain. Be here, part of all the territories. But guys, we will be back after a word from our friends at Foul Territory.
Hey, we love ripping slab packs on Arena Club. I just ripped one in a Ruby pack. Those are fancy schmancy, Kip. And I pulled a Matt Shaw 2023 Bowman Draft Aqua Lunar Crater Refractor card. And guess what? Guess what? I got a little offer. You get the instant offer right away. Okay. So they're offering me $121 to sell it back, and then I can get a new slab pack. What do I do?
I want to see this thing. Hold on. Look at that. That's a beautiful card. You know what? I think that's a safe bet. I think it's going to make you a little bit of money. I think the more big league time he gets, I'd almost take the deal, though. I'm in it for the chase. I like opening more packs. I think that 121 can buy you a couple more slabs to open. And I think you keep chasing until you get something you really like. But that's the best part about it for me.
That's right. You can sell it back, $121, and then open up another slab pack. Use the code FOUL to receive 20% off your first slab pack or card purchase at arenaclub.com/foul.
Time now for Last Licks. I want to reintroduce you to Peyton. She's a sweet girl. She kind of looks like the pup from Little Rascals. She's in need of a forever home. She is a 9-year-old pitty mix. She's in great health. She's in good spirits. She has a lot of love to give and a lot of life left to live. She's being fostered right now in Santa Clarita, California. But even though she's 9, she has a great personality and a great pep in her step. We definitely need an adopter or donations to help her continued care in terms of supplies. Check out guidrysguardian.org for more information on Peyton. All right, so let me ask you this. I know you went on your show last night, All Dodgers with Clint Pasillas, and I'm sure that was really quite positive. What do you have coming up on All Dodgers with Clint Pasillas?
Tonight, my buddy, my pal, Jeff Snyder, and I will be live at 9 o'clock for, I'm assuming, everybody feeling very good, very chippy, very positive about this upcoming series. But we're taking voicemails and the whole thing and just kind of doing a little bit more series preview. And the last couple of shows, I've been on the more negative side. So I'll try to find some sort of positive thread that we can lean on, because I still do believe this Dodgers team finds a way to win the National League West. But go check it out. All Dodgers on YouTube with me.
They absolutely will win the West. I have no doubt in my mind that the Dodgers will win the West. I'm saying it right now, August 14th, the Dodgers win the West over the San Diego Padres. The series predictions are a bit interesting, right? I don't know who's going for the Padres on Friday, but it's Kirsch for us, correct?
Yeah, and that's the only one.
Snell on Saturday, and then Glasnow on Sunday, right?
I believe that's the order. The last two I kind of just pulled out of my you-know-where, but I believe there's also going to be a Michael King. From what I've picked up.
What if it's King against Kirsch? It's what's his nut? The other really good one, Dylan Cease against Snell.
Cease is going to be in there. Michael King is going to be in this series, and I believe Darvish is also pitching in the series, who usually does decently well against the Dodgers until he doesn't. But Dodgers got their dogs in there, everybody but Yamamoto. Unless Yama does get in the series, he could technically pitch on Sunday. But listen, I don't know if this is a prediction. I don't know if this is just throwing it into the ethos and praying that it happens. But the Dodgers need to take the series. They need to come out of this series with at least a 1-game advantage in the NL West. Wait, would that be two? Because you win one and then you're yeah, there it is. So Dodgers take 2. I am worried about a Kirsch start, but at the same time, this is a dude who for almost 2 decades now has played a stopper for this Dodgers team, and he's going to have to play a stopper tomorrow night. Thankfully, it's in LA and not in San Diego, because I don't want Clayton pitching at Petco Park next week.
So here's a thought, and you and I have talked about this before, but for folks that have not heard our take on this, Bobby Miller and Gracie Felix wants to know, do we think that Bobby Miller should come out of the pen? Yes. If they're going to bring him up, absolutely.
Yeah, well, he's thrown out of the bullpen. He's rattled off 5 consecutive scoreless appearances at AAA. He's figuring something out. I've said for a couple of years now when talking Bobby Miller on the internet, he's a 2-pitch pitcher, realistically, or really he should be a 2-pitch pitcher, because if you have 5 pitches but none of them are good, just stick with the 100-mile-an-hour fastball, bend something off of it, and then go make yourself some money in the bullpen. But the Dodgers kind of need this dude at this point, because there are just no.
If you weren't going to put Dustin May in the bullpen and you were going to trade him away, he had a better outing with the Red Sox. His second outing, the first outing was brutal, but the second outing looked all right. But if you're not going to put Dustin May in the bullpen, then put Bobby Miller in the bullpen. That's fine.
Alex Renneria has it, so it's supposed to be Kershaw, King, Snell, Cease, and then Glasnow, Darvish in that order. Thank you, Alex, for doing a better job than I was able to do. And we got $4.99 from Francisco. Appreciate you. Says, if the Guggenheim era Dodgers show up, Dodgers win the series. But if the McCourt era lookalikes show up, it's a sad and different story.
McCourt's going to show up. Guys, we have 44 games left. We're good.
41.
It's fine.
41.
Whatever.
Hashtag
41.
math. Dodgers need to win too. I would take 3. Do you have that positive juice in you before we leave?
Yeah, for sure. Dodgers, you know what? Dodgers sweep. Dodgers sweep.
You heard it here. Guys, if you want the Dodgers to sweep, go check out the Dodgers Territory shop here on the internet. The store is open. I have picked up some merch finally, and I'm waiting for it to arrive so I can have new fancy Dodgers Territory merch, including there's a little mug that says latte mug, but I'm definitely using that as a shot glass because that is
it's a huge shot glass. If it's big enough for a latte, good Lord.
YOLO, like it says in the Bible, YOLO.
Yeah, I'm sure it says that in the Bible. You're so stupid.
Thank you.
All right, Clint and I will be back on Monday after a series dub between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the San Diego Padres. Thanks for being here, you guys. We appreciate it very much. Have a great weekend. Go Dodgers.
Bye.